Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an easy version of the Coca-Cola lorry. If you're new around here and you enjoy this tutorial, please do consider subscribing to the channel. That really helps out a lot, and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button to make sure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. But without any further ado, let's get started. So just before we start building, everybody, here are all of the materials that we will need to make our Coca-Cola lorry. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them before you start building. The amount of space required to make the lorry is a 10 by 49 block area, as represented by the large white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you are planning out your world. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure you got all that stuff. Make sure you got enough room to make it. Make sure you're ready, and once you are, we can begin. Step 1, my Christmas beverage themed lorry making friends, come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid. If you've made it, count to the left by 1, and this is going to be the starting position. It's a little bit tricky though, because we want to have a light grey concrete block kind of just floating one row off the ground, just like that. Then behind that light grey concrete you want to place another one, and then 2 black concrete, 1, 2, and then you want to place 7 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that. What we then want to do is extend the 7th block up 1, and then to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3. We want to place a light grey concrete going down, but then continue extending the original block backwards by 3, 1, 2, 3. Extend it down again, and then come back up and continue extending by another 3, 1, 2, 3. We're then going to extend down by 1, and then backwards by 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Place 2 black concretes, 1, 2, and then 2 light grey, 1, 2, 2 black, 1, 2, and then 2 light grey, just like that. We then want to extend the light grey across the back of the build by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. And then what we essentially want to do is copy what we did on that side onto this side, which should be fairly easy to do as it is only a few rows across from us. So just make sure that you copy what is done on that side onto this side, and we should be good. The entire Coca-Cola truck, the lorry, whatever you want to call it, the Coke lorry, the whatever, is symmetrical. So what is done on one side is going to be done on the other side, except for the branding on the actual, like, the back of the truck, but you'll discover that later on. Once you have copied the left side onto the right side, you can join it together at the front like this. And what we can then do is extend all of the black concretes down to the ground. You see, the black concretes are actually going to be the wheels. And there is something that we have left out a little bit as well. But once you have joined all of the black concretes down to the ground like that, there are actually 2 more wheels on each side that we have to do, and these wheels are placed in between this front pair of like double gaps that we have here. So you want to place black concrete between them and then join them down to the ground, and you want to do this on both sides just like this, nice and evenly. To make the wheels look a tad more 3D, we are going to add another row inside of them. So we're just going to double up. They will each turn into a 2 by 2 little square, little cube of black concrete, and we will be good. The wheels also require further detail, but we will probably add that right at the end of the video when we've got all sorts of miscellaneous materials out that will help us just do a bit of decoration. So we just want to have something which should look like that, ladies and gentlemen, which is looking pretty good. And this is an unfortunate task, but what I would recommend is also joining the entire bed of the lorry, so all of the light grey across from each other. I would suggest connecting it all together at the bottom. Otherwise, you're going to have like a big hole in the bottom of the lorry, which is probably no good for it. So we're just going to join it all together like this. It is a little bit of a fiddly task, as the lorry kind of like dips up and down in particular places. You don't have to do like, you don't really have to do like, say where like this part is, you don't have to join together under there. As long as the bottom is in general connected together, you should be alright. Like, you don't have to focus on like particular like single blocks here and there. As long as it's not visible from the outside, it'd just be good if, like I said, the entire thing was like filled in the bottom. So if somebody was to make their way inside the lorry, or perhaps, you know, whether that's through the side or like underneath somehow, then, you know, it's all filled in. It's just a little bit more complete. Or at least so says me. I think that that'd be a little bit better. And that gives us like a nice foundation. That actually kind of reminds me of like in movies where it's kind of like one of those like military boats that like have planes like land on them and stuff. So once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do is we are going to work on the truck part, which is the front. So starting right from the very beginning, on top of this light grey concrete that we placed earlier, I want you to place a red concrete. And on top of it, an orange. Behind it, 3 red. 1, 2, 3. And then on top of that, red. Go back by 1, and then place a yellow. Go up by 3, 1, 2, 3. And go backwards by 3, 1, 2, 3. I then want you to place a red concrete behind, and then I want you to place 2 red concretes on top, 1, 2, and then extend the red concretes forwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I want you to go down, forwards, down, forwards, like that. That is not looking too bad. So what I also want you to do is I want you to connect the yellow concretes down on the left and right hand side to kind of like make a solid shape. In addition to this, I'm going to request that you place some red concrete and join it down to the ground on the right side there, and also just fill up above. Fill the front part in as well using a little bit of red concrete like this. Add 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, of red concrete extending from the bottom of the inside of the truck part here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip over to the other side, but we want to take this entire row of red concrete with us, like across the back. So we're going to take the entire row of red concrete with us. I want you to extend it across. And what we're essentially going to do is we are going to copy, once like the entire back row, this row has been extended across, I want you to copy what was on that side onto this side. So all of the yellow, all of the orange, all of the red, and that's it. They're the only colors that we've used so far. Just completely copy it. Like I said, this whole truck is, for the most part, almost entirely symmetrical. So you can guarantee almost what you have done on one side can be applied to the other side. So we just have that single little orange concrete there. So that's what we want to have so far. That's not looking too bad at all. What I would also like to do now is the front. I want to join the 2 halves together a little bit. So that's fairly easy to do. We're going to extend the red concretes inwards on the front of the truck, and we're going to extend the orange concretes as well, except we want to place blocks of iron on the insides of the orange. We want to place light grey vertically on the left and right sides of the red and the block of iron. In addition to this, we're going to extend the light grey concretes upwards and join them together at the top, like so. What we are then going to do is we are going to place red concretes extending backwards from the light grey concretes, the top row of the 4 like this. The red concretes are going to extend and they are going to join to the yellow concretes that we have on the sides. That will form this shape. What we are then going to do is we are going to pretty much just place red concretes to fill in the remaining gaps like this. So it'll actually nicely shape the top of the truck as trucks are shaped. We want to join all of the outer red concretes just up above where the windshield is going to be together. So kind of like just left to right like this, we kind of just want to fill them in. It's quite logical really. It hopefully shouldn't be too difficult to do this. So it looks like that. That's not too bad, I don't think. What else do we want to do? Well, on the sides of the truck too, there is actually a slight detail that we missed, but I mean we missed sort of on purpose. Where the light grey concrete here connects to this double wheel, we want to extend the light grey concrete outwards. In addition to that, we want to place 1, 2, 3 grey concretes on top. And we want to do the same thing on the other side. This is important. Light grey, 1, 2, 3, like this. We want to fill the windows in. The truck has 3 windows, one on the left, one on the right, and it has a windshield that extends forwards like this. So the windshield, basically we just want to connect the 2 rows, and this is hard to do by the way from this angle, we just want to connect those 2 rows of yellow together, like so. And we want to fill this side in here. So that's looking pretty good. We're going to chuck some of these materials away. What won't we need again? I don't think we'll need the light grey concrete again. We won't need the black concrete again. I don't think we'll need the grey concrete again. And I don't think we will need the glass again. So I'm just going to shuffle these materials down here. And I'm going to grab the polished andesite stairs, stone brick, just stone bricks, stone brick wall, and buttons. So when it comes to the grill here, we are going to place polished andesite stairs in the empty space in between the grill. On the sides of the build where we have the doors, we're going to create a door handle. This will be mimicked by using an upside down andesite stairs in the center of the door, like this. It can be on the left or the right, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Just like this, on both sides. That's looking pretty good. On top of the grey concretes that we placed at the back, we want to place 1, 2, 3 stone bricks, and then we want to place 1, 2, 3 stone brick walls. We might even make it 4. We'll make it 4 because then it will be higher than the rest of the lorry. 1, 2, 3 bricks. 1, 2, 3. What's a 3? 4. My bad. There we go. Stone brick wall. So there we go. That's like the front part of the truck complete. Not looking too bad. What are we doing with the buttons? Well, I wish I would have had them out earlier, but basically the buttons want to go on the sides of the wheels. These are basically like the locking nuts that would hold the wheels onto the actual truck. So it just makes it look a little bit better. It's a little bit more detail. So says me. I think that it just looks a little bit better, that's all. So add them or don't, but once we have the truck complete and the back part, we can actually make the trailer. So that's not looking too bad whatsoever. So to make the trailer, we're actually going to come towards the back of the trailer because there's some details back here which I would like to just get out of the way. Across the back of the trailer, I'm going to place a horizontal row of red concrete. And I'm going to extend the left and right side up by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend across and down, just like this. Yellow concrete across the bottom. Yellow concrete across the top. Split the middle using red concrete vertically, like this. Cool. And then we can fill the doors in. So the doors, you can kind of make a variety of colors. I might make them white. So I think that I'm going to make them the back doors white. You can make them any sort of color though. It'd more so be red really, but I wanted to add a little bit of detail to show that these are doors. I'm going to place a stone brick wall in the middle inside of the white concrete doors. And I'm going to extend the stone brick wall up and down. So that basically just looks like a door handle that you can actually like prise the back of the lorry open with. In addition to all of this, we are going to take the top 2 corners of the back of the lorry and we're going to extend those corners forwards. The corners are eventually going to connect down to, that's a long way, they're going to connect diagonally to the row of grey and stone and more stone at the front. So there's going to be a slight gap between the bed of the lorry, the back part, whatever you're supposed to call it. I don't know. And we want to join the front and the back, and there is a small gap. That's pretty much the entire gist of it there. So that is looking pretty good. On the sides of the bottom of the lorry, we want to have 2 rows of red concrete. So on the left and right hand sides, 2 rows of red concrete like this, extending up from the bottom. So we can do all of that just like this. 2 entire rows. Very nice. That's perfect. We want to place a large rectangular layer of yellow concrete around the inside. So the Coca-Cola lorry has a really cool set of features and colorings and designs on it. This is a simple version. So we're using yellow concrete to emulate where there would be lines, usually. Like glowstone would be a better fit if we were going to be logical about this, but glowstone kind of looks ugly, so we're not being logical. So we have 2 large rectangular, and by the way, that's also, like, when it comes to the front, that's what the yellow concrete is there for as well. It's supposed to represent lights, but again, I'm not using glowstone because it's hideous. I can't do it. What else do we have to do? We have to seal up the area on the front of the lorry where there's the little gap here, the little space. That's just red concrete. That's easy enough to do, like this. If you like, what you can also do, we don't need any of these blocks, you can join like the front and the back of the lorry together, like maybe with just like a few rows of grey concrete, kind of like in between the front and the back, maybe coming all the way up just like this, just so that it looks as though it's connected in some sort of way, shape or form. The top of the lorry, the carriage, that's trains. I don't know what you call it. What do you call the thing? The thing that the lorry pulls, whatever one would call it, the cargo, the big metal container, the thing that's got those weird curtains. Have you ever seen those? I always thought that lorries were like solid metal, but some of them have like curtains almost, which is kind of funny to think about. But we just want to have the red concrete, just fill the top in, and then that leaves, the only thing we have to do with this thing is we just have to fill the sides in, which is easy but tedious. So we only need 2 materials to fill the remainder of the lorry in. It's actually red concrete and it is white concrete, and we're going to do the same thing on both sides, but here is where the build is not symmetrical. We're going to write Coca-Cola. If we do Coca-Cola on this side and we try to mirror it on that side, you'll have to read it backwards. So we're actually going to write it left to right here and left to right on the opposite side of the truck. Let's get started. So all of the letters fit top to bottom inside of this yellow concrete grid here. We're going to start off with C. That's a vertical row of white concrete top to bottom on the left side. Extend the bottom and tops to the right by 3. All of these letters are 4 blocks high, they touch the top and the bottom, and they are 3 rows wide. They all have a gap of 1 in between each other, so we'll leave a gap of 1, and then we want to have a vertical row of white concrete joining top to bottom. Extend the top across by 2, the bottom across by 2, and join them together top to bottom. That is O. We have to make another C. We leave a gap, vertical row of white, extend the bottom to the right by 2, the top to the right by 2, and then we leave a gap of 1 and have another vertical row of white, top to bottom, extend the top to the right by 2, join it down to the bottom like this, leave a gap between the top and the bottom and place a horizontal row of white concrete. That is A. There is a dash. The dash is... it's actually level where the hole is in the top of the A, so I want you to place a red concrete to the right of the hole, white concrete, red, and then we have to make another C. So vertical row of white, take the bottom, extend to the right by 2, take the top, extend to the right by 2, leave a gap of 1, and we have to make another O. So the O I'm going to make in the same way. Any letters that we've made before, I'm just going to do them rather quickly. O. We have to make an L. We leave a gap of 1 and we place a vertical row of white concrete top to bottom. We extend the bottom to the right by 2, like this, and then that is the L. There you go. Leave a gap of 1. We now have to make A again. Vertical row of white, extend the top to the right by 2, join it down to the bottom, leave a gap at the top and the bottom, and boom! We have Coca-Cola. I know that it's actually a little bit more stylized than the actual version of the truck, but there is a reason that the title says that this is an easy version. If I wanted to make the Coca-Cola lorry that was like the correct size, that was like just like the correct size, it was to scale, it looked great, it had all of the details, it would have to be at least 2 times bigger than this. at least, which I was thinking about doing it. So maybe if this tutorial did well, if you guys did want to see that, I would be willing probably to make a huge version of this. Like 2 times? Probably at least, yeah. Okay, so if we were to, like I said, if we were to literally just like copy from one side onto the other, Coca-Cola, it wouldn't work. So we're just going to write Coca-Cola again. And I'm going to do it rather quickly for myself. If you get in trouble with any of these letters, just refer back to the original side. I think that the letters are really all quite straightforward, so as long as you know what you're writing, I think that you should be alright. Make sure that all of the letters are the same size, meaning that they're the same width, which is 3 rows wide, and also make sure that they are just like top to bottom. Don't forget the dash between the Coca and the Cola. They're really, really easy letters to do, so hopefully Coca-Cola, L-A, there we are, and then all we have to do is just, boop, just got to fill the middle of this in with our red concrete, and that's all she wrote. So actually, what I will do, ladies and gentlemen, because we've actually finished, so we've got Coca-Cola wrote on both sides of the lorry, we have all of the lorry filled in. Let me get rid of all of the concrete that surrounds the lorry that isn't part of it. Let me get rid of all of it, and then let me show you what this thing looks like once it is 100% fully completed, because it'll be nice to look at. Give me a moment. So this is what your Coca-Cola lorry should look like once it has been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we have filled in both sides of the trailer, I want to say, whatever the thing's called, on the back of the lorry. It's all completely filled in, and we've removed all of the concrete as well. That's it. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know that it's not the usual cartoon build, but I thought that it'd be fun to make this, especially since it's around Christmas time. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to check out anything else by me, mainly cartoon builds on this channel, you can check out the card system, description below, and the top of the comment section for all of that stuff. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!